Hi guys, welcome back to the United Talk. This is Divyansh, and today we are going to be talking about Manchester United's biggest league win over Chelsea since 1965. That's right, Manchester United has defeated Chelsea by 4 goals to nil in the first game of the season. When the game began, both sides had a 4-2-3-1 formation on paper, but essentially Chelsea played with a 4-5-1 because Ross Barkley, Mason Mount and Pedro were a part of the midfield five along with Kovacic and Barkley. And that's the reason why they were dominating midfield. That's the reason why United were not able to get out of midfield, and Chelsea were winning all the balls in midfield. Till the 18-minute mark, if you see, if I'm not wrong, the possession stats were 76% in Chelsea's favour. And remember, this is at Old Trafford. So Chelsea midfield was dominating the game. They were winning the game in midfield. But thankfully we got a penalty. Zuma really screwed up. Rashford scored, and the game changed after that. United players actually had a boost of confidence after that. We could see the fact that they were now playing with confidence. They were now playing with much more creativity, much more energy. The passing was good. It was crisp. But I would still say that Chelsea won the first half because if you see Emerson's chance again, wow, what a chance. And how lucky was United, because 9 out of 10 times that goes in. Similarly for Tammy Abraham, 9 out of 10 times that chance goes in. You need luck to reach top, and that's what United had this time. When United went 1-0 into the first half, I was scared. I was really scared because I thought if they continue to be dominated by Chelsea in midfield, the scoreline could change drastically, like in a blink of an eye. But thankfully in the second half, this particular tactic of Solskjaer actually playing on counter-attack worked for us because Chelsea had to attack. We could sit, we could defend, and then we could counter-attack. And that's what happened. Now essentially if you see, United's attacking style is very left-heavy. Even if Martial plays as a centre-forward, Martial, Rashford both have a tendency of coming from the left and then attacking. Luke Shaw joins, he's a left-back. Paul Pogba comes from the centre, Jesse Lingard comes from centre, and essentially the whole attack becomes very left-heavy. And if you see, none of the United goals came from the left-hand side, because the first goal was a penalty through the middle, second goal was a cross from Andres Pereira through the right, third goal from the centre, fourth goal from the centre by Pogba. So essentially none of the goals came from the left-hand side because teams have now started noticing that United's attack is very left-heavy. They had Azpilicueta, they had the midfielders, they had Conte later on in the game. Everybody stick to that left-hand side of United's area, and that's why we were not able to do anything from there. Talking about no one being on the right-hand side, where was Andres Pereira the entire game? I know he gave a hell of a cross for Martial's goal, but where was he otherwise? Because I felt till the time, the 60th odd minute, till the time he did not give that cross, he was actually missing. I mean, when United attack, there are these three players, Martial, Rashford and Shaw on the left, there's Pogba and there's Lingard in the centre, but it's not like a Pereira is giving a width on the right hand side. It's only Wan-Bissaka who comes in from the right. So where was Pereira? But thankfully, from the second goal, there was one thing that he did the entire game, Andres Pereira, and that was to give an assist for Martial's goal. So it worked out fine for us. After that, I think it was a brilliance of Paul Pogba. And my God, where will we be without this guy? Because Paul Pogba, for the third goal, gave a gem of a pass to Rashford. I know he handled really well, scored a calm goal, but where will we be without Paul Pogba? His passing, his creativity, his technique, his ability to actually go past defenders, it's world class. And like I said before, guys, when he performs, he can actually turn the game. That's the big thing about Paul Pogba. And that's the reason why I was stressing on United's need for buying someone like a Bruno Fernandes. Because we need someone else apart from Pogba to give that kind of a creativity from midfield. It worked well for us in this game. I don't want to be too harsh on the players because they played really well. It's a big deal to defeat Chelsea 4-0, especially when it's the first game of the season, and especially when United have had such a bad past 6 years. And Chelsea has won 2 titles in these 6 years. So it's a big deal. They played really well. They deserve to win. But if you talk about the midfield issues that United has, I mean, how about playing an Angel Gomez instead of Andres Pereira at the number 10 position? even instead of Juan Mata, because Angel Gomez, although has the same kind of creativity, the technique and everything, he's actually faster than these two guys. And like I said before also guys, I would rather have an Angel Gomez play in such games. Maybe sometimes he will be a passenger, he'll not be able to do too much, but at least he'll gain experience, he'll learn. You know, even if he doesn't start from the beginning, he can be someone who can be brought off the bench at the 70th minute mark, and he's the one who can actually have an impact on the game from that creative number 10 area. Talking about that, Daniel James and Mason Greenwood, both of them are the perfect super subs for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I say that because if you have these two players coming off the bench in and around the 70th minute mark, and if United are winning, essentially what you're doing is you're going to sit back, you're going to defend, and then on the counter attack you have these two of the fastest players on the pitch 9 out of 10 times in a game, running at your defenders, the opposition defenders, when they are tired, when they're about to get tired. And it's a scary sight for any defender. The frightening pace of James, the frightening pace of Greenwood, and trust me, Daniel James is that one person who's going to win us many fouls and penalties. So they are perfect players for that kind of a situation, and that is what worked for us. Talking about that, I think, like I said about Andres Pereira and how he did nothing throughout the game apart from that cross, there's a problem when teams in the bottom of the table sit and defend against United. When teams actually plant 10 players in front of the goal and you have to break them down, that's the time when United will be challenged, because it's not easy, but it's one thing to actually play on the counter attack, and when you have space behind the defenders to run in and to score goals, like how we did in 3 of the 4 goals today. However, when teams sit back and defend against you, you have to break them down. I think Juan Mata and Paul Pogba are the best players for that situation right now. Like I said before, we needed someone else to be in that position, to help us out in that position, but unfortunately we don't have that player. So it's going to be a challenge to see how United cope up with that kind of a game moving on. All in all, like I said, United deserved the win. They played really well. With that being said, thank you for watching the video guys. I hope you liked it. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Please hit the bell icon. In the comment section, tell me, who did you think deserved to be the man of the match? What did you think about the match? Until that time, cheers.